once again, we're just going to talk about water and my suggestions on what to drink and what type of water not to drink. So first of all, tap water, it's a no-no, absolute no-no. I would never give it to my children. I'd never give it to my loved ones. I won't even give it to people who I didn't like. I've not got a bone in my body that would give any other human being tap water, unless it's an emergency and you need to get it in. But while there's choice and while you've got access to any other water on the planet, don't go tap water. And if you're still drinking tap water in this time, all right, we might have missed the years and bags and bags of information regarding it, but just quickly, it's just loaded with so many neurotoxic chemicals, so many endocrine toxic chemicals, so many pesticides. I think fluoride is one of the dangers in tap water, one of the most harmful, but there's many harmful chemicals in tap water. Apart from it being used as an experiment in Nazi concentration camps, and it being identified as a very strong weapon to keep masses of people in a docile state, accumulating in the pineal gland, specifically on top of the pineal gland, suppressing the pineal hormones. It's just pineal. When we talk about all right, we're talking about melatonin, we're talking about sleep and wake regulation, we're talking about essential body systematic functions that occur, that is triggered by what the pineal is doing. But also we're talking about the spiritual gateway, the heavens gateway, the pineal gland, the eye, it's up there right in the temple, and there's so much accessible, mystical, spiritual, conscious information that has been written over thousands of years just about the pineal gland alone. Also in tap water, you got chlorine, which is another endocrine toxic chemical. You got you got pesticides, you got hormones in there. I think they found about 300 odd man-made chemicals in tap water alone. So just, it's a no-no. Leave tap water. Besides that fact, it's traveling through pipes that are years and years old. A lot of lead pipes are still in place, intact in people's homes. Rusty pipes with years of build up and horrible fecal matters, and the angles that are in pipes are not natural to the travel of water. And water is a very spiritual essence. It's a spiritual entity, and it follows a natural order. And while water is moving, while it's traveling, while it's running, it's charging itself, it's cleansing itself, it's taking in information, it's storing memory of every single aspect of its existence or its journey through life. And it's generating, and it's living. So there's no straight lines in nature. It's all curves and crevices, and so when and this affects the molecular structure and the geometrical structure of water. So yeah, for many reasons, just leave the tap water alone. You're gonna clog up your system completely. You're gonna clog up your circulatory vessels. You're gonna clog up your blood vessels. The water's not gonna get absorbed by your cellular membrane, because it's just the molecules are too thick and congested. It's just a waste, and you're gonna do your systems and your endocrine glands and your organs a whole lot of damage. Leave tap water alone. Next, bottled water. Obviously, bottled water is suffice in a lot of different circumstances. However, plastics, they're still using BPA and other toxic chemicals in the plastics, and water is a solvent. It will leach from whatever material it's stored in eventually. And these soft plastics with these harmful chemicals that are going through temperature changes, and they're traveling on cars and in cargoes and across the country, and all these kind of things, all these fake motors. And like, if you leave water in your car, and you're driving around, you don't want to use it the next day, but then you've got to consider that you don't know the journey it's been on. It's probably traveled all over the world before it's reached you. But these fluctuations in temperature allow for the water to constantly leach and store harmful chemicals in the plastics that it's carried in, and there's been ample studies about this as well, and it's a big massive concern. So where you can, leave bottled water alone. But as you say, when it's much better. I much prefer it than tap water, simply because you can have some element of control over where the water is sourced that you're drinking. So you can read the bottle. Be careful, because they're putting a lot of fluoride in a lot of different brands of tap water now. So be mindful. Always read the bottle. Know what you're looking for. Know what you're not looking for. Then you've got filters and whatnot that you can do with the water. I mean, skip the filter. These days, I say forget all the carbon filters and whatnot. Get a distiller. There's different types of carbon filters and get a distiller. There's a lot of controversy about distillation of water. Is it good? Is it bad? I've sifted through years of research with distillation water. I notice when I do distill and I go on distilled water for weeks at a time, I feel amazing, and I'm very in tune with my body, and most people are when you get to certain levels of cleanliness within. When you spend time cleansing the body, you become a lot more sensitive. Your body communicates what's going on and what's good and what it doesn't like. For distilled water, I've always had a very high vibratory response from, and the latest research I've been looking into, it's there's been big attacks on the distillation water, and I feel like there's some dark forces at play with supporting those attacks on distilled water. But it does leach minerals, but inorganic minerals from the body, and the body is full and congested with inorganic minerals that are not charged, that are not serving any particular purpose, and are being stored, and a lot calcifies in the body. Distilled water really flushes and leaches a lot of that out. You can remineralize the distilled water. There's so many kind of biominerals complexes you can use. You can use crystalline supplements. There's many you can use, but I always say recharge it with your thoughts, with your prayers. Water's programmable. You can put crystals in the water, keep it in glass urns after you've distilled it, write whatever you want, put your mind power into it. For thousands of years we've always done water prayers and water ceremonies, and don't forget, we are mainly water. We are more water molecule than any other molecule. So that should highlight to you the potential for us to be programmed. Yeah, so when we talk about the programming and the influencing and the subliminals and the messages and the getting it, but water, the science shows us that water is highly programmable. The ancient wisdom shows us it's highly programmable. So if someone knows this about you, we are walking crystals. So crystals are very, very programmable, and they're great at retaining light and projecting light. That's water, and that's you. That's us. Yeah, the other water that I'm very, very fond of is mountain water. If you can get yourself anywhere near a spring, a natural spring, get that water. I'm a firm believer in nature. Nature's the best distiller. That water that's been running through mountains, over rocks, it's being filtered, it's being charged, it's collecting minerals, it's collecting inorganic minerals, but they're going to be charged. But we've always drank natural spring water, and water that's running on the earth, it's just totally in tune with the vibrational energy of the earth, and I trust in the earth and the earth essence energy, God basically. So where you can get mountain water, get natural spring water. I'll tell you what, I would never ever dream of distilling tap water, because as already mentioned, water retains memory. Fact. The tap water we are drinking is sewage water. It's been through the bodies and the pipes, the organs and the emotions and the spirits and the minds of everybody in the city, and it's just being constantly recycled. It's being flushed down the toilets, down the sinks, down the baths, down the drains, and it's getting recycled and chemicalized and all kinds of crap. You may be able to filter limited amounts of matter and smells and visuals out of water. Yeah, you might collect very micro fragments of waste, but you will not filter emotion out of water. You will not distill the spirit of water. Water remains ever conscious of its journey. And if you want some good books on water, Water Codes, Carly Newday, The Fourth Phase of Water, it's Gerald Pollack, The Body's Many Cries for Water, Dr. Batman, we call him. And these guys, these people, they just break it down. They will give you the sources of research. It's far too many to name. We all know Dr. Emoto's studies. We all know that Marcel Vogel was hot on water science and crystal science. He was he was the guy that worked at IBM. He was the genius there, dealing with the programming aspects of things. So the science on water is endless, and it's time to wake up and really take it seriously, because your life and your body and your function, your activation, your consciousness, your potential, your well-being, your health, it all depends on water, primarily, next to breath, next to light, and even with the food that we eat, it's the waters, it's the concentration of waters and juices in the food that your body is going for. We break it down into liquid form, to break down the nutrients, but it's the hydration, it's the light in water and the light in food that your body is chasing, same as it's the light in the air that your body is just chasing. So yeah, do take it seriously. How much water to drink? A lot. And you really got to be smart and mature about it. If you're an active person, if you're exercising, if you're sweating throughout the day, if you're keeping active, if you're exercising, if you're doing a lot of thinking, if you've got a real pressurized job and whatnot, drink more water. Just keep it flushing, just keep it moving, keep it turning over. The more fruits and salads and hydrating food you eat, the less water you will require. It's all about cellular hydration. It's all about keeping your cells, your organs, your tissues hydrated. If you're someone who's that you're on quite a dry processed diet for the majority amount of the time of your diet, then just be safe, just be cautious and drink a lot more water, because it takes a lot to break down food, especially fake food, processed food, GMO food, dry food. That's why, as I say, if you can, get as close to a raw, high fruit, high hydration based diet as possible. That will hydrate your cellular tissues a lot more efficiently than any water actually. So but be smart about it. Just look at your life, look at your lifestyle, and judge the amount of water that you require accordingly. It's as simple as that.